Why do some people at 80 look and feel 60, while others at 60 are already old? The answer lies in their gut. Also the answer to the questions, why do you constantly get sick, gain weight, and sleep poorly? Why does your blood pressure and sugar fluctuate? And why do you have stomach and head pain? And why do you lose energy? All the answers are there, in the gut. Many processes occur that affect the entire body. Hippocrates once said that the source of all disease should be sought in the gut. So let's learn how to preserve gut health and free ourselves from many problems. Today in our episode, why does the gut age prematurely? What irritates the gut and how can we calm it down? What should you do 36 times to make your gut work like clockwork? What 2 Chinese points treat gut inflammation? Which tea helps digestion? How does the gut destroy your liver, and how can we stop this? Why do Chinese healers divide food into hot and cold categories, and it's not about the temperature? What to do if you have constipation, and what not to do if you have diarrhea. Our channel's expert will also share his perspective on Chinese wellness methods and offer advice that has already helped many people. A healthy gut can be compared to a strong foundation of a house. If everything is fine with it, cracks in the facade won't appear, the walls won't collapse, and the house will stand for many years. Trying to cure diseases when the gut is unhealthy is like patching cracks without repairing the foundation. The cracks will reappear. That's why it's impossible to normalize pressure, get rid of migraines, improve digestion, and eliminate 101 other problems. However, the path to healing is not so simple. Every person has a unique microbiome. The microbiome is your personal army of health. The gut contains a universe of microbes with trillions of tiny beings. And each person has a unique set of microbes. It's like a microbial fingerprint. The microbiome, or as it is also called, the microflora, like a fingerprint, everyone's is different, and it is unique. Therefore, a remedy or advice that works for one person may not work for another. Interestingly, the gut microbiome has its own age. People with a young microbiome have stronger bones, better memory, and a stronger immune system. Such people look and feel much younger than their age. And the Russian scientist Ilya Mechnikov claimed that it is the aging of the gut microflora that leads to the aging of people, and this is now confirmed by research. But here's what's even more interesting. It turns out that centenarians have a special microbiome composition. It is rich in bacteria that produce butyric acid. This acid not only protects gut cells, but also slows down aging processes throughout the entire body. Just think about it. The bacteria in your gut determine your lifespan. And your microbiome can be young at 60 or even 80. Great news, right? But how can we rejuvenate the microbiome, restore gut health? And we talk about this in our video. We give specific recipes and tips, and right now, a practical tip from our expert. Today on the Health and Longevity channel, we have gastroenterologist, a person who knows everything about the gut and digestion, Murat Radikovich Zenatulin. There are now products in stores that are enriched with beneficial microorganisms. Primarily, these are dairy products, including bio-yogurts, kefir, and other fermented dairy products. They help improve our microbiota and digestive system function, but only if a person does not have lactose intolerance. Otherwise, bloating, stool disturbances, and other symptoms may occur. If a person tolerates such products well, it is also important to remember that the number of bacteria in these products is significantly lower than in specialized dietary supplements designed to restore the microbiota. Surprised that a doctor recommends taking dietary supplements? Active supplements, when used sensibly, are real help for our body. Judge for yourself what's easier. Drink a bucket of kefir or take a probiotic capsule that will populate your gut with beneficial bacteria. Because of the large number of useless products on the pharmacy market, we've stopped trusting health supplements. But remember, valerian in pills is a dietary supplement, and the vitamins we give to our grandchildren are also dietary supplements. Well, let's figure out the connection between the gut and diseases and what to do to maintain a healthy gut even after 80. Just a reminder for a minute, the gut is not only responsible for digesting food, but also plays a key role in the immune system. It produces up to 70% of antibodies, which protect us from infections. Do you have frequent sore throats? The gut may be to blame. Chronic throat diseases can be a consequence of gut problems. Yes, often people unsuccessfully treat themselves with an ENT doctor, while the cause lies in the malfunction of the digestive system. The fact is, the mucous membrane of the throat is irritated by substances involved in digestion, which aggravate chronic tonsillitis and pharyngitis. I also learned that joint and muscle pains with no apparent cause are also a sign of gut problems. This is especially common in older people. Is this true? Let's check in with the expert. If a person is experiencing muscle and joint pain, it is unlikely to be caused by gastrointestinal diseases. However, systemic conditions such as Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis can lead to such symptoms, as they affect not only the intestines but also other internal organs. However, in most cases, when dealing with joint pain, the causes should be sought in factors directly related to the musculoskeletal system and rheumatologic diseases. It's absolutely certain that an unhealthy gut becomes a source of constant, one might say, chronic intoxication of the body and the cause of liver problems. Here's what I mean. Normally, everyone has conditionally pathogenic flora in their gut. For example, there's a fungus, Candida. It's conditionally pathogenic, meaning it's conditionally harmful, because in normal amounts it doesn't interfere with our health. But if you, for example, took antibiotics and disrupted your microbiome, the Candida fungus starts to multiply, and then it grows to such an extent that it becomes really harmful, eating away at the mucous membrane and affecting organs. When any conditionally pathogenic microorganisms in the gut grow, the gut releases toxins in large quantities, and your liver has to process these toxins, increasing the load on it. Hence, the problems arise. What's even more interesting, significant changes in the composition of gut bacteria have been found in people with Alzheimer's disease. How can we help it control the growth of bad microorganisms? Maybe we should take absorbents every time we have a stool disorder. If you experience a one-time episode of stool disturbance for an unclear reason and it doesn't recur, there is no need to take sorbents. However, if diarrhea lasts for several days, with frequent and watery stools, then sorbents should be taken. Typically, we prescribe them for 3 to 5 and at most 7 days, because these medications can also lead to constipation. These medications are taken on an empty stomach between meals. Usually, all symptoms subside between 2 and 3 days. However, if they persist, it is necessary to consult a doctor. Did you get it? Absorbents don't benefit the gut's health. They are a temporary solution. What we can actually do for our health is to cultivate a healthy microbiome. After all, it's the microorganisms living in the gut that help digest food and synthesize vitamins. Yet these tiny helpers produce vital substances. This includes vitamin K, which is necessary for blood clotting and bone health, and B vitamins, which are essential for a healthy nervous system and proper metabolism. In older age, digestion changes even if you lead a healthy lifestyle and eat properly. As a result, nutrients and vitamins are absorbed less efficiently, and the gut itself wears out and ages. But why does the gut age prematurely? The fact is, with age, the microbiome of the gut changes, leading to various problems. Physiologically, everything may be fine, no diseases, all organs in good condition, but the gut doesn't give you peace, constipation, diarrhea, or just confusion. In such cases, it is referred to as irritable bowel syndrome. What irritates the gut, and how can we calm it down? Let's figure it out. The nervous system plays a major role in the development of irritable bowel syndrome. So the prevention of flare-ups consists of avoiding stressful situations. It is also important to remember that rough or coarse food can exacerbate symptoms such as pain and stool disturbances. The diet should be as gentle as possible to avoid triggering a flare-up of the condition. But it's not just about irritated gut. The mucous membrane itself ages throughout the digestive tract. As a result, the important vitamin B12 is absorbed less efficiently, which leads to anemia. Weakness and increased fatigue appear, which is why some people in old age run around energetically while others lack the strength for everyday tasks. Also, with age, the immune system weakens and bacteria can multiply more than before. This condition is called excessive bacterial growth in the small intestine. It manifests as abdominal pain, bloating, and weight loss. So what should we do about all this? We can't turn back time, but we can slow down the aging of our gut microbiome. Write in the comments right now, do you believe it's possible to rejuvenate the body by changing your lifestyle? And what do you do for this? I will tell you about how we can support the health of our gut and slow down the aging of the microbiome. First of all, we need to diversify our diet. You can't eat the same thing all the time. Yes, I understand that gourmet food is not affordable for everyone, but it's not about expensive food. It's about variety. A varied diet is key to a healthy microbiome. Stop sticking to the standard diet. Many of us are used to eating the same thing. Introduce something new into your diet. For gut health, eat more different vegetables, whole grains, and fermented foods. They create the humus in the gut where beneficial bacteria thrive. Secondly, you must move. Regular physical activity helps food digest properly, improves metabolism, and promotes better gut contraction. For those who suffer from constipation, this advice is especially important. Even a simple 30-minute walk in the fresh air at a slow pace has a positive effect on the gut. By the way, regarding constipation, in older age, this is often directly related to the medications we take for chronic illnesses. Most medications have this side effect. Additionally, the walls of the rectum lose tone, contract less, and cannot push stool to the exit. And if we don't move much, we don't give the gut any chance to function properly. And if the opposite is happening and your gut is in overdrive, you need to stop worrying. Let me explain why. More often, discomfort and diarrhea are not caused by food, but by your behavior. If you're constantly anxious and worried, the gut will definitely react to this. Look, the gut has its own nervous system, called the enteric nervous system, and it communicates with your nervous system. When you experience stress, your nervous system tells the gut, we have a problem. We need to focus on survival. Digesting is not a priority right now. The gut immediately reacts. No time for digestion? Understood. Let's get rid of everything. And now you're running to the bathroom. Got it? And if stress is chronic, the situation will repeat itself daily. So try not to get nervous, and help yourself with calming remedies such as valerian. You can buy tablets at the pharmacy, or you can brew a tea made from mint and chamomile, which also calms the nerves perfectly. Only mint and valerian have a cumulative effect, so calming tea or valerian tablets should be taken for a long course, at least 2 months, and every day. You can alternate calming tea with tea made from licorice root, which is beneficial for the microbiome. It helps digestion by relieving stress on the gut. Here's how to prepare it. Brew 1 teaspoon of crushed licorice root in a cup of boiling water. Let it steep for about 10 minutes, and drink 1 or 2 times a day. And I hope you understand that gut health also depends on diet. If you drink tea and continue eating whatever, or take beneficial teas but exclude activity, it won't help. Only a comprehensive approach to treatment helps restore gut health. Therefore, right now, I will tell you about safe nutrition for the gut based on the principles of Chinese medicine. So, according to Chinese medicine principles, safe nutrition is about avoiding extremes. Too fatty and too dry foods are excluded, but spicy food is considered beneficial for the gut. However, there is a nuance. The Chinese divide all foods into warm and cold, not by temperature, but by their effect on the body. Warm foods have warming properties and strengthen the spleen and stomach, which positively affects the functioning of the gut. Cold foods weaken digestion. Warm foods include, for example, ginger, cinnamon, and fennel, also chicken meat. Cold foods include milk, sea fish, and raw vegetables like cucumbers and broccoli. In general, raw vegetables. That's why the Chinese prefer briefly cooking vegetables over high heat. Also, to improve gut health and normalize its function, the Chinese use special massage techniques and stimulate a specific point. I'll tell you about it very soon, but for now, let's finish talking about food. Cooked rice is also considered a food that helps digestion and strengthens the spleen, stomach, and gut. By the way, do you like Chinese food? Do you consider it healthy? And what do you think? What do the beneficial microbes in your gut love most? Sauerkraut, piece of cake, or kebab? The correct answer is sauerkraut. Also, pickled apples and barrel cucumbers. Due to the fermentation process, these foods contain beneficial bacteria for our gut that help normalize the microbiome. Onions and garlic are also good for the gut, natural antibiotics that kill harmful bacteria. Turmeric is another powerful anti-inflammatory agent for the gut. Add it to your dishes. It's especially good with rice and chicken. And I'll tell you at the end of our video about a well-known berry that literally rejuvenates the microbiome in the gut and positively affects the entire body. Now, here are some tried and true recipes for everyday use. Ginger tea is very beneficial for the microbiome, and both folk healers and certified doctors agree on this. Grate fresh and peeled ginger, about 2 centimeters of medium-sized root. Pour the paste with a cup of boiling water. Let it steep for 10 minutes. Then add the juice of half a lemon and 1 teaspoon of honey. I hope you know that honey loses its healing properties if added to too hot tea. Of course, if you use honey as a sweetener, there's no difference. But if you want to get the most benefit from honey, the tea's temperature should not exceed 50 degrees Celsius. Drink ginger tea 2 to 3 times a day for a month. The tea is a powerful remedy against inflammation in the gut. For populating the gut with beneficial bacteria, you should drink fermented dairy products, kefir, ayran, or sour milk. The expert explains how to choose beneficial foods for our microbiota. The most beneficial foods for our microbiota are vegetables, fruit, berries, and herbs. They contain the nutrients necessary for the growth and development of beneficial microorganisms. Dairy products enriched with lactobacilli are also important. They help improve the condition of our microbiota as well. Now I'll tell you about Chinese secrets. The Chinese therapeutic gymnastics Qigong is known worldwide. It includes exercises for the gut as well. One of them is a special abdominal massage called tuina. Sit comfortably and place your hands on your stomach. Slowly massage your stomach clockwise 24 times and counterclockwise 36 times. Do this in the morning and evening. Why 24 and 36 times? This is the result of centuries of experience and practice passed down from master to student. These numbers are chosen for optimal effect without overexertion. Clockwise movements are considered more warming and help improve digestion, while counterclockwise movements are used to cleanse the gut and relax it. Another type of massage is done before bedtime. Lie on your back and bend your knees. Start with a gentle clockwise massage around your navel. Gradually increase the radius of your movements to cover the entire abdomen. Massage the abdomen like this for about 10 to 15 minutes. According to the Chinese, the tree exercise is great for improving digestion, and you can try doing it right now. Stand up straight and slightly bend your knees. Raise your arms in front of you as if hugging a tree. Breathe deeply. Try to hold this position for as long as you can. Start with 1 minute and then gradually increase it to 3 to 5 minutes. These exercises should be done regularly, every day, preferably in the morning. However, you can stimulate the secret point for gut health at any time, but not every day. Let's see where it's located. The Zhusan Li point, known as the point of longevity and health, is located just below the knee. According to Chinese medicine, when you stimulate it, digestion improves and the immune system strengthens. Just a reminder, before starting new treatment methods, including those based on Chinese medicine, it's best to consult a doctor. This is especially important if you have chronic conditions or are taking medications. And as always, there are nuances. You need to know how to apply pressure to the point. Gently press on it, hold, and release. Maintain a rhythmic pattern. Sessions are best done 1 to 2 times a week for a month or slightly longer. Don't press on the point every day, and don't expect your gut to start working like clockwork after the first session. Give it time to adjust to normal functioning. We found these methods of restoring gut health for you because you asked us to talk more about Chinese medicine. But are Chinese methods effective for treating the gut? We asked the expert whether we should trust Chinese medicine. Chinese medicine has centuries-old traditions, and therefore it undoubtedly deserves attention in the treatment of many diseases. However, in our traditional European medicine, we follow some different principles, and Chinese medicine only complements the treatment prescribed by a classical medicine doctor. Do you agree with the expert, or do you have a different opinion? Write in the comments and also leave suggestions. What topic would you like us to make a video about? What diseases are bothering you? To hear the answer to your question in upcoming videos, subscribe to the channel. Click the bell next to the subscribe button and select All. Remember I told you that the microbiome is unique like a fingerprint? And this is the main difficulty in dealing with gut problems? We admit that some remedies and advice from our video might not work for you. You might have already tried them and they didn't work. In this case, there is also a solution. Try an individualized approach to treatment based on microbiome analysis. Of course, if you have gut problems, you should undergo an examination, a colonoscopy. Many people fear it. Can you just do an ultrasound instead? Can an ultrasound of the intestine replace a colonoscopy? Unfortunately, no. The most informative method for examining the large intestine is colonoscopy. It allows for a visual assessment of the condition of the intestinal lining and, if necessary, a biopsy. Ultrasound can provide a rough idea of the conditions of the intestine, the thickness of its walls, and changes in its shape and size. However, it is only a preliminary method of examination. Visual examination of the mucous membrane of the rectum is not a pleasant procedure. Is there an alternative? How can you check the condition of your gut at home without a doctor? Visually, no way, but you can keep a journal. Start recording how often or rarely you go to the bathroom, when and how. Note what you ate and drank before. This little journal will become a compass for you and the doctor in finding problems in treating diseases. Pay attention to dry skin, peeling, and various rashes. These also indicate gut problems. Nails and hair also send signals. For example, brittle nails and hair loss can indicate gut diseases. Look at the screen. Here are the many signs of gut problems: constipation or diarrhea, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, or the opposite, lazy gut, bloating, heartburn, and gas. Do you have any of these? Collect your medical history, as doctors say, and bring this information to a specialist. Our expert explains how to prepare for such an appointment. If you're going to see a gastroenterologist with intestinal problems, first and foremost, bring any documents related to previous tests and analyses. We also recommend coming on an empty stomach so that, if necessary, you can immediately undergo tests and other examinations, such as ultrasound or endoscopy. Additionally, the patient should remember which medications they've been taking. If it's hard to remember, it's better to write them down on a piece of paper. And don't forget to bring a good mood, as it is important for your cooperation with a doctor. Remember I promised to tell you about the health berry? It's strawberries. Many know that strawberries refresh the blood. It is even believed that during the season, you should eat at least a bucket of strawberries to refresh your blood. For the gut, strawberries act as an antioxidant, an anti-aging remedy. When they enter the gut, they literally protect cells from damage and inflammation. Additionally, some studies confirm that strawberries promote the growth of beneficial bacteria. They like it because strawberries contain both soluble and insoluble fiber, which is essential for nourishing microorganisms. Now you know the secrets that will help you change the age of your microbiome and live longer. Your gut is the key to your health and longevity. Start taking care of it today, and you'll see how your well-being, appearance, and even mood change. We once mentioned that 90% of the happiness hormone is produced in the gut, not in the brain, as many people think. So when your gut is healthy, you are truly happy. That's it for today, friends. Give us a like for the helpful information and motivation for a healthy lifestyle, which I hope you'll want to lead after watching our video. Wishing you health and longevity.